I'm gonna start. Okay. So today, welcome, and we're going to talk about our experiences with Crystal. We honor the light of Crystal Riel today. She is very gifted on journeys, and um, so we're going to talk about that. But I always like to start with the ceremony. So I honor the light of all of you. This is a sacred space, um, and I call upon my angelic counsel, Metatron, Sophia Ra, Sandalphon, Shelunara, Era Kata, today to anchor in oneness codes. I received a lot of oneness codes when I was with Crystal and Yana. I could see the energy coming in and all the symbols, and I'm still getting them today. The oneness codes are, elevating the planet. They're coming from Gaia, and they're coming from the air and the sun, and we can absorb them in. So it was my intention today to share some of the information with light language and to anchor some of that oneness in your heart today. So Aniki tu o shaka anika aroko sha a. Ashana ki tu u naka aruko sha likita aru. And akatro kana katuru o shuka a. Aru ni asha turu. Niki turu ushana ki turu osha ni liki turu aka. Eniki turu osha. Uruko shunale ki turu osha. Enike shu trosha kata a. Ara anikitu uru kushuna la kata. Uru kasha. Isha nakito or anakashi. Ushu noku turu o la kita a. Enikishua ta a. So a question that you can ponder later on after the call is what part of myself still feels separate? Because oneness is what we are. And with that, I would like to let Crystal talk a little bit about her sacred journeys, and um, and then we'll talk to Yana too.
Okay, cool. I'm super excited. So I'm going to give you guys a very brief history of my journey of how I got here and what I'm doing now. So 10 years ago, I decided to start intentionally sitting with psychedelics for spiritual journeys. And mostly I have used iboga, which is a root bark from Africa, ayahuasca, mushrooms, and bufo. So somewhere near the beginning, after about 4, 5, 6 mushroom journeys, I started training with the person who was sitting with me, and I started sitting with people on mushroom journeys. And so on and off over the years, I've been doing that, and I just did a couple recently. You guys might have heard about. And then about 5 years ago, I started working with bufo. So bufo is the secretion from a toad in Mexico, and the secretion is harvested and dried, and then it's like little gold flakes, and you smoke it in a glass pipe. So the other medicine is 5-MeO DMT, which is a liquid that comes in a vial, and you smoke it kind of like a vape, and it is the synthetic man-made version of bufo. And I've worked with both of these medicines, and they provide the same experience. And if I didn't know which one I was taking, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're both profound. People are more leaning towards using 5-MeO DMT now because as the population of people using this medicine increases, it's putting a strain on the toads. So I'm working with 5-MeO DMT. And a couple years ago in my Bufo journeys, I started getting the message that I'm supposed to be sitting with people on Bufo. And I had a lot of resistance to that. It was mostly my lack of belief in myself that I was able to hold this space for someone. When I would look at the person who sat with me and I would think, there's no way I can do that. And from the outside looking in, it looks like you're just sitting in a room with someone, but it's a powerful psychedelic, and it's a big container to be able to hold that space. Um, so I realize now that I needed to have all of my psychedelic journeys, because every journey that I've done with various medicines, I've always been given a little piece of information. And it was, of course, kind of like a puzzle piece. So I've been putting together this puzzle over the years, and I see now how I had to have all of those experiences. And I had to have the light language, because for me, what I do definitely involves light language. I needed the activations. And most of all, I needed my friends. I needed my friends to come play with me and show me that I can do this. It's okay. I can totally do this. So, not that long ago, Christy came to visit, and she sat with me, and then I sat with her. And I still, before I sat with her, I still was in fear. And the reason I was able to do it is because it was Christy. And I knew no matter what happens, she's going to be fine. She doesn't need me. So everything's going to be okay. And it was a blast. It was hilarious. We had a great time. And after Christy's visit, Tammy and Yana came to visit me. And Christy suggested that they might want to try the 5-MeO DMT. And I still had fear in that, around being able to hold space for someone. But I did it anyway, as I do. So we sat with Yana first, and then we sat with Tammy, and then Tammy and Yana sat with me. And my experience was, this is it. They gave me the final piece of this particular puzzle. And I 100% know that I have embodied this medicine. It's in me and it's not going anywhere. And I definitely understand that part of my purpose is to be of service to others and offer this medicine. So I'm in no way trying to convince anybody that this is something they should do or need to do, but I am here to provide my service and offer this medicine for anybody who's ready for that experience. So the experience itself, the actual high of it, is on average 20 to 30 minutes. And within an hour, you're back on the planet. And then the rest of the day is just kind of chill and grounding, go out in nature. We went to the lake and went in the water, and that was beautiful. Um, what else? Oh, what it's like from the inside is, it's really impossible to describe in a way that anybody else could actually understand what the experience is. My word for it is profound, and my feeling of it was complete oneness. My consciousness and all of consciousness. I was still me, but I didn't have a separate awareness of Crystal having this experience. It was just, everything was all one. Yana actually does the best job of articulating the experience of anybody I've ever heard. So I'm going to leave that part to her, because I think she's going to share some of her experience. But if anybody has specific questions for me, I am happy to answer.
I do. But I don't know where to start. I'm just going to start wherever it starts. So, Crystal, we first interacted during that very first activations at Gary's place, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw that you were different than everyone else. Everyone else was doing light language, but you were doing hand mudras. So, what were
Mm-hmm.
you feeling as the incentive to do the hand mudras? And how did that come on? Did you just knew to do it intensively, or can you describe that? And then now I want you to progress, because now you are doing light language. So how did you feel that transition go on?
Okay, so I was doing light language before I knew what it was. I'd never even heard of light language. The hand movements are a form of light language. Light language can be spoken, written, sung, or signed. So I started doing it actually in one of my early mushroom journeys. I felt the medicine come in through my body, and I mean, it never left. And so I was doing light language, and it was actually someone in the Joshua community who saw me doing it, who told me what it was. And then I sort of got more into that. What was the next part of that question? How did I
transition into a verbal light language?
um
Because it seemed like you were doing the hand moves first, but maybe you weren't. Maybe in private you were doing the verbal first. But
so yeah,
for
I
us,
mean,
it looked
and
like you were very fluent in hand moves, and then you
yeah,
moved into verbal light language.
correct. So I have been silent most of my life. So the signed light language was easy for me. That is not there's no resistance in that for me. There was a lot of resistance in speaking. There was resistance for me in speaking English. Like it's not that it was weird, it was that I did not want the focus on me at all. And it's easy to not have the focus on me when all I'm being quiet. So when I started intentionally learning about language, once I found out what it was, I started speaking. So I was speaking in the beginning. I just wasn't doing it in front of anybody else. And it's definitely grown and expanded the more things we do and the more crazy experiences I have. It just expands. There's different languages that come out that I don't know what they are, but it's definitely expanding. And I think the only reason you guys didn't hear it is because I was quiet.
Yeah, yeah. I will say that hand mudras came to me very first, and then the verbal one. And I will say that the hand mudras came to me first because I saw you do it. That's
Oh,
actually what got me to do it, and then I got very very comfortable with it. And then when I was in Egypt, I asked my inner self, well, why am I so good in my hand mudras and not my verbal light
mhm.
language? And they said that because you're in Egypt, you would get arrested if you did the verbal language. Because in Egypt, they will arrest you if you're meditating. They have very strict laws there, and if you're doing things in public, like meditating, they can arrest you. So if you went out there and you did light language out loud, you can get yourself in big trouble. So they
Good to
said
know.
that when I did, yeah. So they said that when I did my hand mudras in public, I was in no danger of being arrested. So they said that's why it was perfectly timed for me to learn the hand mudras first and then the verbal. But I do want to give you credit and acknowledgement. You're the first person that I saw do hand mudras. I didn't even know it existed. But when I saw you, I knew it was real. I can sense what you were
Yeah.
doing, even though I've never read about it or heard it or seen it before. But when I saw you do it, it's like, well, that's for real. That's just as real as them doing verbal light language. It's just a different form of it. So
Correct.
I wanted to compliment you and let you know that, and thank you, because if I didn't see you do that, I would not have triggered it in me to know to do
Mhm.
it. And right now, that's all I do. I'm out on the streets doing it. But I want to thank you because you introduced that to me, and I saw you do that. So thank you for that gift.
You're welcome and thank you. And I think that's why we're all here. And that's why community is so important is when you see somebody else do it, you know it's possible.
Exactly. Or you know what it is, even you get a thing, it's like, oh, this is interesting that we share this. It's like interesting. I wanted for you to say, I think you didn't mention it to Tammy and me that it has the same spirit, like
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So in one of the dead talks, I don't remember who it was. They said that all these psychedelic medicines, they may just present as a mushroom on earth, but there is a larger spirit that is the medicine. And so Christy, when she was here, she asked about that. She asked about the bufo and the 5-MeO DMT because it's synthetic and man-made. And they said it's the same spirit. And it truly is the same medicine. I don't know how science did that, but it's impressive.
Yeah.
Because it's meant to
no,
be.
I mean, there's a there's a spirit for all the plants. When we did it in Egypt, we did cacao, but that's a different plant spirit medicine and ceremony. But all of them they're all different spirits, and they're all things that you can summon for your benefit.
Yeah, but that spirit exists in the man-made product as well. It's
It's a little trippy, but everything's trippy.
Yeah.
Well, no, that makes sense, because if it's based off of the vibration, then anything at that vibration will have that spirit associated with it, because isn't that how we all work? Like, we're all little shards of our big brother self, right? And we're all at that frequency, right? But we're all a little different, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense, right?
Makes sense. Yeah, of course.
It does.
It does make sense.
Because if you can embody the frequency of money, you should be able to make it as well, right? So like you think of these subjects, like, I love you guys so much because you make my brain work in all the ways that it wants to work. Oh, I just love you guys. Thank you.
That's awesome.
The frequency. Yes, definitely. Ariana, you want to talk a little bit about your experience?
A little bit. It's yes. I'll talk a little bit about my experience. So I don't even know where to start, because like every time somebody speaks, I'm like, oh, and this, I have to mention this, and I have to mention this. So I think that the experience was, my word is also profound. I don't know. I don't think we shared it with Crystal, but like now I know we share that with Crystal. I've never experienced anything like that. I've had some psychedelic experiences before with different medicines, but this was something that like it can't even describe, and I'm going to try to describe it of what it is. But I think that the reason, so one of the things that I want to forget is, I think that, and I think I mentioned in the call yesterday, but I think that we do all these things, and all the experiences that we have, I had a feeling when I was in the experience that everybody and anybody can touch what I've explored in this particular moment. So basically, the experience is, you inhale, you smoke, you let the smoke integrate and hold it in your mouth, and then you lay down and you go on your journey. My journey was, I think, the whole thing was 30 minutes. Maybe the 20 of it I was with my eyes closed. I actually did it twice. We did it twice. We did it the first time, and then I was interested in doing it again and seeing how not that I did not get what I needed from the first one, but if we're just playing, what would the second one be like? What am I going to learn? Because the first one was so profound. My initial reaction was, oh, maybe I should let it integrate, and I should let it, kind of understand what I was doing. But as I woke up and as I spent an hour or two out of the experience, I understood that I've integrated it. So the minute that I opened my eyes, and maybe not the minute, but like half an hour later, I felt like the experience that I had is embodied. It's like also a new understanding of what embodied is for me, or was in this experience. It literally went into my body. Like my body understood what I've experienced, and now I know it's going to remember it. So it's kind of like, I hope I'm understand whatever. I guess you guys will get what you get out of the shares, right? In the words that I'm saying, in the way that I'm stumbling or clear or whatever. So then the first, so as you take it and you lay it back, my experience was I went into being nothing, nowhere, no time, no space. And it was very blissful. So I did not have a body. I was not me, but I was aware. So it was an awareness or a consciousness. I was present to it. Kind of I knew, but I was one with all. And it was dark. There was no light in the very beginning. It was dark, but it wasn't scary. It was just blissful. And then the lights or the codes did start coming in, the colors started coming in, the geometric shapes started coming in. I think I'm gonna stop right now so that I can share, and you know, my hands want to go. The geometric shapes started coming in. And then for me, my personal experience really connected me to what I had actually been exploring on Earth. But now I understand why my light language is the way that it is, and what came, and what noises I'm making, and what sounds I'm making, and what noises I'm making with my hands. So so my experience was that everything kind of like Transformer clicked me back into my body in the million and million clicks. And then as I was coming into my body, I saw everybody and I understood. I just got the knowing that I am everywhere with everybody in every time. The time is not. So I learned a lot of lessons, and I can share kind of what lessons I learned. But as I was getting back into my body, it felt like I just was kind of clicking out of this vastness of nothingness. I don't know if it makes sense, into being in my body, understanding that I get to do this. I chose this. And as I was coming in, I felt like a little drool here, a little, coldness on my feet, a little sound that came in, and the beauty of all the senses, that the body is the connection to the physicality and the beauty of the body, and just the way that it is, and all the all these things, all these thoughts are coming at the same time about, but I didn't like the body, or I don't like this, I don't like this, and then the silliness of like not liking what I have, and this vessel, and this magic of being in the body, and being picky about, I like this but I don't like this, like all of it just rushed back in as I clicked in. The first time, I think I wasn't as relaxed as the second time. So the first time I opened my eyes a little bit sooner than the second time. So with the first time, and the experiences were very similar. I think the lessons were a little bit different, and the lessons were kind of like, I went a little bit deeper. So the first time that I came from this vastness into the body, um, I saw my kids, and then I felt like I could telepathically communicate to everybody. And then I looked at my daughter, and I, kind of telepathically said something to her, and I saw her changing the baby and her turning and looking at me in this moment. And I knew at some level I connected with her, right? Not in the physical world, but at some realm, she heard me, and she turned around and she looked at me. And then the first time when I clicked back into the body, when I opened my eyes, I was still not completely out of the experience. And seeing Tammy and Crystal there doing their codes, doing their light language, the music that Crystal plays, and the whole environment was like, I understand the sacredness of the ceremony that Crystal and Tammy held for me, that it's not like a drug that you just do, and coming back to the friends, the friendly faces, somebody who knows you and sees you. I also, the first time that I came back, understood that there's a lot, and I'm happy to share privately, or I have a write-up about it too. The first time that I came back, I understood, I saw a moment, or I kind of know that we had a moment with Tammy and Crystal in some other realm at some other time, that this was planned, that we planned to be in this moment, three of us doing this journey together, sharing this, holding space for each other. So I kind of got a knowing that it was all planned, like, and now I know it was planned. Also, the understanding about my ego and the gratitude that my human self, right, Yana, pushed past the fears and, you know, the insecurities and all of that to get to the point, because that point was planned, that moment was planned, but it might not have happened, right? It was a choice point. If I didn't work through all of my things, I did not find Joshua, I did not talk to all of you, I did not have all my little moments coming together in the way that I did, even though it was planned, I might not have ended up in this moment, understanding with all this knowing, and like being grateful for my experience here, and for my ego not being my enemy, but the like kind of the veil that just dissolved, right, into complete freedom and complete knowing of who I am, who we are, what we're doing here, to the extent that I did understand it, right? Because the second journey got me a little bit deeper into it. What else? So telepathic communication for sure. So as I was with my eyes closed in the first trial, I was talking to Tammy and Crystal, and I was saying how grateful I am in telepathically, and I know they got it and they heard me. And just like when I woke up from the first experience, I knew that this was the knowing, right? I understand when now Joshua says, here we only believe, right? There's only a belief, there's no knowing. And I felt like being in this journey and coming back, I have the knowing because I saw it, I felt it, I touched it, I connected to it in the most magical, profound way. What else? I think that I'm trying to say it really quick, and so the sacredness of the experience was magical. Crystal just holds such a beautiful space, and having Tammy there, my travel buddy, was special. And also being present to their journeys, right? Being there, holding space for them was special. But I think that everything just became very funny. All of our human things are just funny. And then now that I live my life and I go into a judgment or whatever of myself mostly, then I just laugh at it because I know what it is and I know how it is and I know we're all connected. So, my light language and my hand movements. So I felt a very distinct clicking, kind of like Transformers gain back in, and I feel like that's my light language. Now it all makes sense. So the way that I talk, or that my light language is like all like clicking kind of sounds, but not like Mantis, more of a, I don't know, just I'm making the sounds that I'm making, and I'm always clicking things in. Like my hands are not like crystals, like people have like beautiful hand movements, very mine is like all about clicking, and I feel like that's what I click back in, and I see that. And it's very interesting that the project that I'm doing, and my land language and my hand movements and everything else, even before the journey, I now realize that I am remembering things before I even did the journey. I'm remembering things in a way that I planned it, or it was an option for me to remember it. And without even before the journey, but the journey made me see that all the things that I'm doing are how I explored this journey, I guess, that all happened, at the same time. And I'm just remembering it. All right. I'm done with my
Okay.
shaker. I don't know.
Thank you. That was great. I mean, she explained it. It made a lot of sense. So I'll talk briefly about mine. So, I've done a sacred ayahuasca. So DMT was, already part of me. I did that in 2019. But then when I met Crystal, I did a mushroom hero dose with her. It was profound. So I got a lot of messages about love 10% more in that journey. And she was just she was sat there with me. It was her and Chris. We were together for 18 days playing at Gary's house. It was magical. We were doing lots of healing stuff and learning and playing with each other, and it was cool. So then move forward to this. I didn't plan to do any of this. I planned to go see Crystal, so I was afraid. I don't do a lot of drugs, but I have tried a few things, the mushrooms, and tried a few things, but so the minute I took it, and I did not take as much the first time as the second time. But the minute I breathed it in, I started singing these crazy tones. I like went back, and I don't know, I was toning like the whole time, but I was seeing all these symbols come in the air, and I could just look at them and I could just see their angelic galactic beings. They were beautiful. They were ethereal looking. I was seeing all the codes in the air. And so the first time, it just felt like bliss. I've done a lot of meditation and I've had Kundalini, which is DMT release. So that DMT is natural, but this is, a dose that's going to get you there. You don't have to do 20 years of yoga. You can just go straight to it. But I mean, that was my thought because it was a lot like my DMT release when I had a Kundalini moment. Very natural, very easy compared to ayahuasca. It's way easier on the body. You don't have to do all the purging and all that stuff. And um, so then I did it the second time. So the first time I was acting silly. I don't know. I was singing and acting silly, but I just felt like I was in total bliss, and I could see that I planned it and that, I had to go to Canada to see Crystal and that I could see them. We were looking at each other, like sending each other messages telepathically and all that, which I already believed in that. So um, then the second one, I was like, I don't need that. I need to integrate this. And anyway, we decided that we would do it again. So I do it again. So I am only, I'm like laying there and they filmed it because I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why would I be singing like this? It was incredible. I was like making these, and I was speaking light language and moving my hands, but I was seeing on the second one, it just, went to a very, very bright place with just energy and color. I mean, I like shot out, and it was just oneness, oneness. It was, and that was all that I was getting. It's like oneness codes, and then the symbols, and I would see them, and I was doing, my hands and singing and toning the whole time, but not like it was like really high pitch or different pitches and stuff. And I still couldn't believe it. But the shit is cool. I mean, it's fast. it's gentle. It, you know, I could see. I mean, what I was getting was it was the oversoul. It was in the temple of oneness, and there was nothing there but energy. And it looked a lot like there were shapes and unique things. Um, and Crystal brings you back in with her light language and grounds you. So, I mean, she's very gifted, and I don't know if I would do this with anyone else. I feel like I felt really safe. I felt it was gentle going up and down. Like I didn't feel any roughness or sometimes when you even like MDMA, there's a huge drop the next day, but not with this. Like we went out to the beach and sat on the beach and walked around on the beach and went swimming. So it was very gentle. You could drive, you could leave after, an hour. We ate, and I did feel a little less grounded after the second dose, but I took a lot that time because they kept saying, "You didn't take enough." And I was like, I mean, Yana was like, "You didn't go where I went," and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I need a little bit more." So I did it, and I did not feel quite as grounded after the second one. So I'm having crazy dreams since I've been home, still seeing a lot of symbols when I close my eyes and meditate and breathe. But I feel like I'm here. I mean, I went to yoga. I've done all kinds of stuff since I've been home. But I was dreaming I was playing with fire and looking at people. I think it's got a lot to do with the flame stuff, remembering past lives, remembering. And I will say, Crystal really came into her purpose while we were there. And she expressed it. She was able to express herself a lot easily. Her and Yana talked a lot about it. It was great. Um, I mean, just the whole trip was magical. Being with Dana's wife, being with Lynn, and she did a mushroom journey with Dana and Lynn was feeling so good. I mean, she was in love with the butterflies and the flowers, and she and I were pulsing love out into the water and doing this breathing stuff. And, like our frequency shifted. I could see her frequency rise between the time that I got there and the time that I left significantly.
Yeah,
And
I really felt that. And I think the first thing that I said to you guys when I was able to sit up and talk after my experience was that this is it. This is the new me. The person that lied down is not the same person that got up.
Yep.
yeah, I
I
really
feel
wanted
the
you to
same.
express that. I felt that too. Because you have Crystal's been challenged a lot in the last year or two, but she realized that her purpose, she had to go back home to find her purpose, and she found it. And um she is very talented with her light language, sitting with people. She, she can she can do the mushroom journey with you or the DMT, but I think she's leaning toward the DMT. And myself, if I had a choice, that would be it because it's an hour, like an hour, I'm myself again. But yet my frequency shifted forever. I don't think that. I mean, I've felt oneness briefly in journeys, and but there were no
So
downsides.
Tammy, you're talking about DMT right now, not mushrooms. And is
Right.
DMT the same thing as bufo? Bufo?
Yeah. Yeah, DMT is similar to Bufo. That's what Crystal is saying. I've never done Bufo. I've only done DMT.
So the 5-MeO DMT, which is what I'm using, is exactly the same as Bufo. It's just the man-made version of it.
Gotcha.
So
Where
I want
could we?
I wanted to say something. I think that because I've done a lot of drugs in the parties, right? MDMA. I've tried different things. I've done mushroom journeys. I've taken mushrooms just walking in the forest a little bit and here and there. I understand the ceremony of it, and because the experience is so big, it's hard to grasp it. But what I loved about doing it there is the fact that we talked about it. We talked about it for 2 days. We realized that this might be what death feels like, the bliss of the death, of like going out of the body, out of the physical experience, that it's so beautiful. Crystal and I talked about this is probably the soul just being released into this blissful, crazy state. But I also thought that maybe this is what, when soul is coming into the newborn baby, when they're still in utero, right? Maybe that would also like coming back into the body, because on the second journey, I came back and then I was able to relax back and leave again, and relax and come back and leave again until like I was fully in the body. But the fact that we could talk about things with people who understand what we're talking about, bringing all these concepts that were intellectually there and actually feeling it physically and knowing that that is what it means, this is what oneness means, this is what telepathy means, this is what embodying means, all of those things, like, knowing, I don't know, it was something else.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that if you're inspired to contact Crystal, it's definitely worth doing, and you will be changed if you do it. I felt that all three of us raised our vibration significantly. We did not have it melted away my fear um, significantly, because I still had fear going in, but once I, I shed. I did. I don't know that you can dissolve the ego completely, but it was an ego disillusion. Um, I definitely feel like a new person in many ways. Um, and my vibration was pretty high, but I still have limited beliefs. I do feel like it's a very powerful tool, and I highly recommend it. And I can't say enough about Crystal. I mean, she's really gifted and skilled, and um, she cannot come into the U.S., but we can go to her. And she can also travel in Canada. So that's
Oh my
another
God,
thing to think about.
Victoria is so beautiful. Like, I don't know if you guys haven't seen, like, we really enjoyed visiting the nature, the lakes, the ocean. I don't know. I loved Vancouver and Victoria. So
Yeah, and we stayed with Dana a couple days, and then we went over by ferry. So it's not that difficult. You can fly into Victoria, or I mean, where she lives, or you can fly into Vancouver and see, Vancouver and that. So we enjoyed the ferry. Uh, you know, Dana's really fun too. So I guess he's going to work though right now, right? And traveling with Daryl. But anyway, I wanted to share that. And does anybody else have any questions about it?
Oh, yeah, I do, and I'm gonna channel my inner drug addict, because I gotta tell you, I've done more drugs than all of you guys combined. I've done 40 years of partying, so the question is that, knowing me, what's to stop me from wanting to stay in that zone? I mean, an hour is a little trip for me. I've done drugs for like 3 straight days. So, what if it sounds like it's a fun thing to do? So, what's going to stop me from saying, "Oh, I want to take 10 doses of it"? I mean, because I can see myself on a 10-hour trip. I have actually heard of people going on like 5 hours. I thought they were all like 5 hours, but this sounds like it's 1 hour. So is there a internal stop limit for you to stop at one, or knowing me, I might say, oh,
It's
let's
not
go
an
again. Let's
it's
go
not an
again. Let's
addictive
go again.
thing. It's not an addictive
Yeah.
thing. And it is possible to do it again. I mean, we had a day in between. We didn't do them both on the same day, but I mean, that's possible too. But the beauty of it is you bring back that knowledge with you, and it's fun to now see your life. It's not like, oh, I got to get out of here. It's not an escape thing at all. It's
Yeah.
it's an embodiment of understanding.
I want to say that you find a new love for being in this body. You understand that you've been up there. So that's what I understood. That I've been up there, I don't know how long, and I don't know if time is even relevant, but I found a new understanding the privilege of being in this physical reality, experiencing all the thoughts and emotions and senses. So I found a newfound love for the physicality of the body and this experience here. And I don't think that, like, I don't know if I would wanna, or like if I even had a thought about, oh, I'm just gonna float there and be high, because you understand that you chose what you're doing here, and what you're doing here is beautiful and perfect and the top of anything you've ever experienced. I don't know, hopefully that answered your question.
And Crystal will tell you no, Daryl.
Yeah. I hope so.
She'll crack the whip.
Someone will need to
It doesn't
stand
matter.
guard, and
You know, she doesn't have a lot of words, but if you, you know, if she speaks her mind, and she'll say no, Daryl, you must come back and and do your grid work and do your other work. But yes, we will not allow you to abuse it. We won't let you go.
So I wanna say that I've had an out of body experience where on LSD, when my soul left and I was looking at myself and I was actually contemplating coming back. I was thinking about, oh my God, it's so beautiful out there and it's so light and so easy. It was a completely different experience. I felt like but I looked at it like, why do I need all these things that the physical experience has to offer? And I chose to come back because I believe that I love my life and all of that stuff. But this was completely different. This is understanding the magic of it all, and you understanding that you want to be anywhere other than where you are in every particular moment.
So I'm going to give you guys a debate that's been talked about by grandmasters when it comes to this topic. And that is that there's a balance here. Some of them say, don't do it because you can do it without doing it. That when you do it, it's kind of a crutch, because you can actually, the real thing is to do it without the drugs. Another part of the coin says do it because it will get you through that training wheel of getting you a taste of it so that you can do it on your own. But in both cases, ideally, we want to be able to reach this state by ourselves through meditating. However, the vast majority of us cannot do that in this lifetime, cannot get there. So this plant medicine is an opportunity for us to get a taste of it, a motivation to go there. Otherwise, most of us can't achieve this by meditation alone in this lifetime. So that's what the big cause. That's a discussion that I think, do you guys have any views on that?
So I actually do too. Okay, Crystal, you go first.
So, okay, it's do it or don't do it. It's listen to yourself, first of all, what's right for you. But the thing about the DMT is I've embodied it. I don't need to go. It's not something you go to and then you come back. I have a whole new, I know who I am now. I know why I came here. I understand. That's not going away. And I can, you know, when I open my eyes, I can still see DMT. I can see the visuals of it. I embodied that medicine. I think that's really where we're trying to get, is to who we truly are. And that's, you know, you can do it any way you want. You can do it through meditation or however you choose to.
Or not.
Or not. Or not.
Who knows? Yeah. I don't know. If can you reach there? Nobody knows where anybody reaches and how far anybody reaches, because it's all individual experience. I find that I'm the person who can visualize things, and I can see where I was right now as I'm looking at you and talking to you at the same time with my third eye. It's here with me. That's what Crystal was trying to say, I think, is that it's hard to explain, but that feeling, that visual, that understanding, I see it right now. It's with me. I don't need to interrupt what I'm doing here to go there. I was there and I brought it back with me. I brought it back into this life. You know, when they say that, can you really understand what, you know, wake up to it when you're still alive? I feel like I've done it. Whatever that means, right? And so that's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've reached pretty high levels with breath work, with yoga, and with mushrooms, ayahuasca. But I'm saying, if you're choosing this for yourself, it's a gentle way. You know, I was in yoga for 20 years before I really had a Kundalini awakening, and that, you know, I mean, I did experience bliss and oneness in a natural way. I wasn't using anything, but I know that substances have helped me with my third eye, and I can
I just want to
see.
interject something there, Tammy. The thing about it is natural. It's produced in nature.
Yeah,
It's produced in our
it
own
is.
brain.
DMT is already in you. It's just it is a natural substance, and so are mushrooms. So, you know, I do believe that it's very powerful and, um, you know, and quick. Depends on how fast you want to go.
I also want to say, Daryl, so I always said that like MDMA gave me a certain understanding on it, right? And then I can now go there, like you said, in my life without doing drugs, because I've touched it, right? I went from the head into the heart, and how I can now, I have an understanding with MDMA. I had an understanding with MDMA after taking MDMA, is what it feels like to live from the heart. So I could always touch it. And then I think with this is like, don't forget it. Like you can't, it just doesn't go away. You don't need to be there in it. And I think that it's fun to explore. And we did the second one just to see, but we didn't really need to do it. Like I didn't feel the need to do it. We were there, we had an opportunity, we had time, we were all together. So we were gonna see what it feels like. And actually, two of us did it. I did it, and Tammy did it, and Crystal didn't do the second time because she said, I have it in me. So I think that it's all personal, and I don't think that you just want to do dose up to dose and then just be out there, because that's not the point. The point is you're here, you chose to be here, with everything that it entails, and you understand it as you go on this journey.
Yeah, I mean, just for the record, I'm doing it. I know I'm always supposed to do it. In fact, I had a reading. I've had a reading with Christy, and my spirit guides came through and said to do it, even though I didn't even ask them that. They said to do it. So I've always known I'm going to do it. And it has now lined up that I'm going to do it with elder shamans throughout the rural in this Peru trip, because that's what they're offering as one of the ceremonies, you know. So it's all planned for me to have this experience with elder shamans in Peru. So I know it's all lined up and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, I'm just throwing it out there for debate, but for me, it's a definite green light. And Christy has already told me that don't worry, you won't have a bad trip. Even though I didn't ask that, they told me that. I guess they read my mind because that's what was preventing me from doing the bad, So they said, don't worry, you're such a clear channel, you won't have a bad trip. It's like, okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. So I'm definitely probably going to do a lot.
Well, I'm probably going to go back and see her again. And I know Yana's like, we're coming back. She made me promise before I even left. So anyway, we need to say our names today. Those of us that are here wanted me to say her name. So I am Sharaya Ariel, Flame Steward of Residence. Let's see. We'll go down. Daryl, you're here. Oh, wait. Michael.
Yeah.
You go, Daryl. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pulling it up, but if you can read it, that's good for me. I have it on my email, but I gotta pull it.
Ori Zinka.
Oh, that's right. Ori Zinka.
Flame of DNA restoration. You can restore my DNA, baby.
There we go. I'll do that when we're at the retreat.
Thank you. But you can't take on other people's baggage in your body anymore. I did listen to that. Okay. So you got to promise us that. Let's see. Michael, have you got your name?
Yeah, I got mine. It's Kali, you're on, and it's a flame of oversoul alignment.
Okay. Let's see. Aaron is Naluma S, flame of emotional alchemy. We can get Aaron's not coming. Okay. We can get her to alchemize us before we even go. Let's see. Nikki.
My name is Ve Ashael, and I am the harmonic flame of inner voice.
Your voice is beautiful.
Ooh.
Wow. Crystal.
I am Saliel Thay, and I don't know the second part because I don't have it up.
Codex flame of light body codes. Duh. She brings you back with her codes. Excuse me, did I say that? Okay, so let's see who else. Katie left us, but Alaria Vejin.
I'm here, but thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Somebody said they had to go. Who was it?
Me.
Okay. Katie, you can say your name then. I love this flame.
Gosh. I can't.
Flame of,
oh yeah, I know. I like it too.
Oh, okay, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Alari
Veyen.
Yeah. Flame of multiversal joy. We need some of that in our life.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Can I say mine, Tammy?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm the Mari Rael Wynn and a flame of rebirth and crystal in law. It's funny, I have Rael, Crystal's last name in my name. Interesting. Coincidences.
That sounds really good too. Crystal in law. I like it. Christina.
Mine is Sha Luvian Ray. I'm the flame of a voice, transmutation, and soul expression.
It sounds like you, doesn't it? It does. Okay. Well, I'm grateful that you were all here. Thank you, Crystal and Nikki. I'll see you soon. And
thank you, Tammy, for putting this together. I love you guys.
You're welcome.
And Crystal, it sounds fantastic. And if I can get out there, I definitely will. I mean, I wanted to
me
do
too.
With
you guys are welcome anytime.
So,
My house is open.
We'll try to schedule something in the future.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, everybody.
Great
it feels really powerful. even to be a witness to what you guys experience. So thank you for sharing and opening your hearts to us.
Oh, that's
Thank
so
you.
sweet, Nikki.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Love you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, let's clap.
Bye.
We clap. We do this on our calls sometimes, clapping. We love you.
Bye, you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.